Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sara Peternell. I'm board certified in holistic nutrition. I have Hashimoto's and I'm the creator of a 30-day online program called Nourished and Renewed with Hashimoto's. I talk a lot about all things Hashimoto's, and I've realized that a lot of my viewers are asking questions about some really important day-to-day stuff if you have Hashimoto's. The one thing I've been wanting to do a video on for a while now is what you should eat if you have Hashimoto's, and specifically what you should eat for breakfast. So today I'm going to share with you my 4 top recipes for really healthy, easy, and delicious breakfasts that can help you achieve both eating breakfast and eating a breakfast that's rich in nutrition and protein that will help you start your day. All of these things are really important if you have Hashimoto's. But if you don't have Hashimoto's, this is also for you because I love to provide the support for people who are looking for recipes that will help them with more breakfast recipe ideas. So please stick around and join me as I share some of these really great recipes with you. So the first thing that I want to share is a berry avocado breakfast smoothie. This is actually one of my absolute go-to breakfasts. I do a lot of smoothies at our house. My kids love them. I find that they're easy to make because I can put all the ingredients in the blender. And then I can put them into little containers for the kids. I can put them into one of these like shaker cups for myself. And they also will last in the fridge for a little while. So sometimes I also send them to work with my husband so he can have them for a nice mid-morning snack. Now, making a smoothie couldn't be easier. You basically just need the ingredients that I have listed here. This one uses coconut milk, like the kind that you buy in a septic box. But you could also use any other milk that you want to, including non-dairy milks like almond milk or rice milk. If you are dealing with Hashimoto's, probably preferably you don't want to drink cow's milk. You can check out my video on dairy products. So recommended that you have some kind of a non-dairy milk or other liquid beverage, not juice because that's too high in sugar. I like to add things like zucchini and spinach and other ingredients to my smoothie to just boost it up a little bit with some vegetables. This one uses zucchini and frozen cauliflower, as well as a mixed organic berry blend, some avocado, chia seeds, and a vanilla protein powder. I'll put the link to my favorite protein powder in the pinned comments below. Using a supplemental protein powder is just a great way to get a little bit more protein in your diet if you sometimes tend to be maybe averse to animal protein, if you're following more of a vegan or vegetarian diet, or if you've just been told by, maybe someone like me that you need to get more protein into your diet. And if you want to watch my other video about if you have Hashimoto's, why you should eat meat, that's a very good one to help give you some information about the importance of amino acids. So basically for this delicious berry smoothie, you put all of your ingredients into your blender and you blend them until they're smooth. This will basically make 1.5, so you can increase the quantity of your ingredients like I said I do for your family if you wish to make a few more servings. And you can certainly do some substitutions. Like you don't have to use chia seeds, you could use ground flax seeds instead. If you don't want to use avocado or you don't have any, you could just use a tablespoon of nut butter. You could also do this more like a berry smoothie bowl, and you could serve it with things like shredded coconut or granola or other fruits. And again, I use a plant-based protein powder that is by Metagenics, but if you don't want to order that one, there are certainly others that you can get at your health food store. Just make sure it doesn't have a lot of funny ingredients or added sugars or extra, weird flavorings or unnatural preservatives, etc. Okay, here's my very first breakfast recommendation. Super easy to make, very delicious. I will say that when it's cold outside, it's not always that much fun to drink a cold smoothie in the morning. So this makes a great breakfast for the spring, the summer, and the early fall, or for those of you who live in warm climates, this is a great breakfast that you can also have, in Florida in the middle of winter. All right, I'm going to share another breakfast. This is quinoa and kale egg muffins. I am choosing an egg muffin recipe to share with you because they are easy to make. Stay with me because I do have some non-egg recipes coming up. We typically think of eggs for breakfast, and there's a lot of good reason for that. When you're buying high quality eggs and cooking them correctly, they are a great source of protein. They're also a great source of choline, which is great for your brain health. They're obviously easy to make for the most part, and they have staying power, right? So when we have protein, something like eggs in the morning, it really helps us to stay satiated and full longer so we don't experience blood sugar spikes. And controlling blood sugar is really important. You can watch my other video all about blood sugar issues with Hashimoto's. So this recipe, the ingredients are basically avocado oil. You can also use coconut oil, some dry quinoa, also olive oil, kale leaves, tomato, 7 eggs, water, and sea salt. You can follow these directions by preheating the oven, greasing your muffin pan. I use a mini muffin pan because I like to make them small. You cook the quinoa according to the package directions, which if you've ever made quinoa before, it's very easy. It doesn't really require any babysitting at all. And while it's cooking, you can heat your olive oil and cook the kale and then remove it from the heat. You're basically going to mix your cooked quinoa, the diced tomato, and the wilted kale and stir it together. And then transfer it to your muffin cups. So you have this little quinoa mixture. And then in a separate bowl, you mix together your eggs until they're pretty well scrambled. They'll be raw. And you'll add in your water and your salt, and you'll pour the egg mixture over top of the quinoa and vegetable mixture that's in the muffin pans. And then all you do is bake it. It's so easy. It literally couldn't be any easier. You're basically making a quinoa mixture, pouring over raw eggs that you're going to cook in the baking pan, the muffin pan. And you will cook them until the egg is set. And so that's sort of to your preference. If you like them just a little bit squiggly, you're going to take them out at about 15 minutes. If you like it a harder set egg, then you will take them out at 18 minutes. Your oven may vary, so check as you're cooking, and you might want to insert like a fork or a knife to make sure it's cooked all the way through. They're pretty easy to pop out if you grease your muffin pan properly. You can store these in an airtight container. I use a glass container that has a plastic lid that snaps on tightly, and I'll keep them for about 3 days in the refrigerator. They're super easy to reheat either in a toaster oven or for about 20 seconds in the microwave. And a serving size is 2 of these egg muffins. I love to have mine with hot sauce or red pepper flakes. I also like to add these to other breakfasts, like maybe a piece of gluten-free sour bread toast with some almond butter, and have this egg muffin on the side for breakfast. So this is one of the easiest breakfasts. You can change your ingredients. This one uses the vegetarian ingredients that you see here. There's no dairy involved. But you could also do this with bacon. You could add some shredded Parmesan cheese. I like to mention Parmesan, even though I just said dairy is not optimal. Parmesan is low in lactose and high in calcium, and a little goes a long way for flavor. So if you do tolerate dairy okay, adding some Parmesan cheese to these would be delicious. All right, let's get to the next recipe that I have for those of you who are like, I hate eggs, what am I supposed to eat for breakfast? So this is a turkey and vegetable bake that actually is not a breakfast recipe, but it is delicious, and it makes a wonderful protein-rich breakfast that is also easy to reheat and is a great substitute for eggs. So this one has these ingredients here: olive oil, lean ground turkey, preferably organic, 1 small yellow onion diced, 2 garlic cloves minced, a little bit of Italian seasoning, about a tablespoon. I like Italian seasoning, so I go a little heavy. Some sea salt, again, kale leaves for all of the wonderful folate and magnesium and other minerals, And in this recipe, I use butternut squash because that is what is in season right now for fall and winter. And then it also uses coconut milk for some of the healthy fats. So you're going to basically brown the turkey over the stove using some oil, like in maybe a cast iron or a stainless steel cooking pan. And once it's cooked through, then you're just going to drain the drippings and add the onions and garlic and cook it for a little bit longer, adding your seasonings and your salt, and then the kale and the butternut squash, so it all cooks together. And you can add a little bit of additional salt for flavor if you need to. And then stir in the coconut milk, and you can transfer it to a baking dish. Usually I would probably grease the baking dish with coconut oil or olive oil, and then cover it with a lid or foil and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. What you're doing this for is the squash, because in this recipe, just to cook it over the stove probably is not long enough to get it to the desired consistency. So I love roasted squash, especially butternut squash this time of year. It goes so good with these flavors, with the savory turkey and the kale. And then all you have to do is divide it among plates and enjoy. This will make quite a few servings. So my recommendation is to make this maybe on a Sunday or a Monday and store it in the airtight refrigerator for several days and just kind of reheat it as needed. Again, it's really good with some maybe added hot sauce if you like that. You can also put a fried egg on top if you like eggs. And you can mix up the different types of starchy vegetables for other varieties of squash, or you could also use a sweet potato. If you don't like ground turkey, you could also use chicken or ground pork. You could also use ground beef. Grass-fed ground beef would be delicious in this recipe. So this is a wonderful breakfast, but it's also a great lunch. So having this on hand ensures that you're getting excellent macronutrient balance of your carbs, fat, and protein. Great source of all kinds of nutrients in the vegetables, vitamin A, beta carotene in your squash, as I said, folate and magnesium and other minerals in the kale. Onions and garlic are both great immune boosting vegetables. So check this one out as well. Lastly, I'm going to share with you classic overnight oats, because I suggest overnight oats a lot to my clients and I kind of get a funny look. Like, what does overnight oats mean? Well, it's basically oats that you don't have to cook. Yay, who doesn't love that? So it's super easy basically to take your certified gluten-free oats. If you have Hashimoto's, you want to make sure you're buying the gluten-free oats. Not all oats are gluten-free. They're often cross-contaminated from the growing and the manufacturing process. I use coconut milk or almond milk in this recipe, along with chia seeds, a little bit of maple syrup, cinnamon, but right now I'm also loving pumpkin pie spice blend, and some water. All you do is you add all of these ingredients to a container, stir it, put the lid on, and you're done. Yay! It's so easy. Overnight oats are amazing because they don't cook in the liquid, but they become very soft. And therefore they become more digestible, easier to eat without any sort of the rumbliness that you might get from obviously consuming raw grains, which isn't delightful. I also have used this recipe with some coconut yogurt, which is naturally fermented. I love the GT's brand of coconut yogurt, and that works deliciously in place of the coconut milk so that you get some of that fermentation. This makes it a really healthy probiotic rich overnight oats, and you're just going to leave it in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat it. Yes, you can warm it up if you want to, and if you aren't crazy about the texture, you can add some additional toppings like chopped up nuts or seeds, coconut flakes, or you can even add in some fruit toppings to enjoy it. So normally when I make overnight oats, I put it in the refrigerator and I take it out. I put them in some little containers that are about a cup size, maybe a little bit smaller than a cup. And I take them out and I just set it on the counter so I can eat it at room temperature. And then I will add some fresh blueberries, some chopped walnuts. It is quite delicious. And I'll tell you what, it's really satiating, it's really filling, and I know that it's a great way to start my day. And because I can do these in batch cooking, I don't need to spend my whole morning babysitting and stirring a big pan of oatmeal. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I was so excited to share all of my top favorite recipes for healthy, delicious, and easy breakfast recipes, especially for people who have Hashimoto's. And guess what? If you are interested in checking out my fall meal plan subscription for Hashimoto's, you can find lots more recipes like this. And soon, this month or next month in December, I'll be releasing the winter Hashimoto's meal plan that will be full of more delicious recipes. These are priced really well, which means that you can download all of my sort of musings and recipes, my favorite flavors, my preferences for certain types of foods that are all really nutritionally sound for an inexpensive price. If you're new on your Hashimoto's health journey, starting with one of my meal plan subscriptions is the best way to get started. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. I hope this is fun and helpful for you, and I will see you soon. Bye.